Right now, we're going to be playing the Randomizer. We're going to do Season 2 Safe Logic. This time around, I want to test basically all glitches allowed. I'm not going to limit myself whatsoever and see how bad it goes. Because this is like the full, like, worst case scenario for allowing glitches would be something like this, where every possible glitch is allowed. The reason I'm bringing this up, by the way, is because there is discussions going on in the Symphony of the Night randomizer community about allowing certain glitches in the randomizer race settings. Like if you sat down and did a race with somebody. Right now, the most preferred method seems to be something along the lines of allowing some glitches that have a minor impact outside of just saving you some time. Things like the library floor clip, something that doesn't come up very often, but if you do it, it can save you like 8 seconds or something like that, which is not a lot of time in the grand scheme of things. Versus, this is probably the minority opinion of allowing all glitches, which is what we're going to be doing right now, just for funsies. If you ask me my opinion, I think shop glitch probably should be banned because it's not very fun to lose to somebody who just finds fairy before going to the shop, or demon card, or sword bros or something, and they get infinite money and buy all the stuff that you couldn't afford. That's just like a routing thing that probably feels bad. Ooh, Vorpal Blade, nice. I think reverse shift lines across the board probably should be banned because they're not used for good. 1, 2... Show me a third one. I'm going to try and do death skip. I don't think I can do it very reliably here, but I'll try. Well, library card lets me do death skip. Hold on. I'm going to try and do it the gamer way. Hold on one second. Okay, I need to set it up. That was way off. Well, I could just keep my stuff by library carding, but I kind of want to keep the library. Oh, but it's a Varda and a Vorpal? Let's get out of here. Cheating again. Listen, I failed the skip. That one's really tough. You only have one shot at it, too. So here's the thing. If I want to do shop glitch, I need to not talk to the librarian. But the problem is that he might have stuff that I need, so I'm going to talk to him. If I find sword card, I can come back later. Gas cloud's so necessary.
Thank you.
Library card I already had. No, just kidding. I don't have one. And I can't afford another one. Fuck, I've made a mistake, chat. But the rest of the shop doesn't really matter.
Well, for now.
Am I excited for the new Castlevania? I am. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see it. Save split the librarian check, yeah. The problem is the closest save I have access to is next to Doppelganger. So that, or I just reset the entire game. Which I might consider if I find, like, Fairy Familiar right here, which I did not. Nice job. Oh, my quick grabs. It's in the library. Eldritch? There's a save in the damn library. With the gear and items and relics that I currently have, how the fuck do I get up there? I'll sit here and wait until you answer that question. I'm not even going to fucking move. How do I get up there, Eldritch? Big toss. Get the fuck out of here, man. Fucking big toss my ass. You can big toss my nuts. You're the world record or something? Figure it out, big guy. Yeah, I guess you're right. Bro, fuck that big toss. It's such trash. You're more likely to die going for it. And you'll have no save. I can't with you people. Just because I'm technically wrong doesn't mean I'm owned. All right, you were right. Yeah, I could have done that. I forgot about that trick existing because it's so stupid. It is one of the stupidest tricks in this fucking game. Also not a glitch, by the way. That would have been a glitchless trick. Although, hear me out. It can be used to find to check fairy card out of logic, so I could do it. I don't think I'm a high enough level yet. If I take off all of my gear, what's my defense? 2? It'll go to 0. And my total HP is 88. I think I'm in the clear. I think I can do it. I don't know what the stat cutoffs are, though. I'll showcase the trick since Eldritch brought it up. I don't want to level up, so I shouldn't kill these guys. Happy Friday indeed. Honestly, if Curse also reduced your defense, this trick would be free. Honestly. I'm going to just reset this room. So here's the trick. Step 1. Kill these guys. And this guy. And honestly, probably that guy. Step 2. Wake up the corpse weed on that ledge. Step 3. Wait for him to spit on you. Ah! You have to catch the spit in your mouth. There you go. Step 3. Get this guy... Or 4? What step are we on? Walk around this guy until he eventually shows you his cool-ass lightning sword. Step 5. Lure him over here. Get him to start swinging. I need to be over just slightly more. Get hit specifically to land up here. Have to map buffer that shit, and also the frames aren't consistent. And then you go up here. Wow! I did that for fucking pudding! How would you put these nuts in your... It's fine. It's fine. Actually, first try. That trick is not easy. I want to point that out. It is not easy. There's a way to make it more consistent. Not really. The quote-unquote more consistent method is not more consistent. At least in my testing, I could not make it more consistent. So maybe that's a skill issue on my behalf, but in my testing, I could not make the quote-unquote more consistent method more consistent. And it was slower, and it was more annoying to set up. The one where you fall off the ledge into his attack, right? Unless there's another new method that I'm unaware of. The one where you fall on top of his attack has the same problems as, like, jumping into it, I'm pretty sure. But what if we want the pudding? Oh, yeah, you're right. I should turn around for it. If you fall off the ledge and then jump with reasonable timing. What? I guess I'd have to see it. But if it's the same setup as before, when I complained about this last time, then that one's not more consistent. Like, it has the same problem of not having a good visual cue that is actually consistent. The reason being is that the enemy repeats frames during the animation, and partway through the animation that you're looking to use as your timing, it's going to be during some of those repeated frames. Like, that is the actual problem with any sort of setup with that guy, is that because he doesn't animate differently every single frame, you can't distinguish the exact timing you need to, like, set up for that trick. Unless you have, like, a perfect frame kill setup or something that I'm unaware of that does actually work. I guess we're just killing this guy, yeah. You have it pretty well with your method? Okay. I just argue that it's maybe not more consistent than mine. Because there will still be like integral inconsistencies based off of the fact that the enemy's frames repeat, so you cannot tell which frame you are actually on. So for that reason, I don't think you can create an actual consistent setup. You can have a setup that works for you, but that doesn't mean that it's actually consistent. Unless there is something that I'm unaware of, like if you're able to map buffer to the first frame of its animation changing, and then do a frame kill setup of some kind, then maybe you can make it more consistent. That's the only thing I can think of. But even then, frame kills are... I guess you can map buffer a frame kill setup, maybe? Either way, it's just way more complicated that way. I never use map buffers because I'm bad at the game. Well, if you want to start adding glitches to the randomizer, your ass is going to learn. You're going to learn to map buffer and you're going to like it. You will like it. Map buffering makes tricks so much easier. Genuinely. It's not scary. Map buffering is not scary at all. Oh, he's coming! Oh, Lord, he's coming! What is a glitch? A miserable attempt at cheating? What?
Help! Help!
I would never cheat. AVR? Thank you for the prime. I appreciate it. Anybody who says I'm cheating, actually, they're the cheater. Quick, I'll point the finger at everyone else to avoid the blame for myself. Also, again, I told myself I'm allowed to use glitches in this rando. 0 opportunities to glitch outside of me failing death skip have come up. So, like, I guess I could do this for funsies. It's not even a glitch. Can you back up, please? Yeah, whatever. I can just do that to check this item. Ooh, Power of Sire. That's fun. I have the toadstool for the mines. Yeah. I tried to do Tetra Spirit Death Skip, yeah. But I was way off. I also broke the brick to try to give myself 2 frames. And then just completely fucked up the setup. It was, like, really bad. It was genuinely a disaster all around. I'm assuming that shift lines are not among the glitches that would be allowed. If I were the King Czar of Symphony of the Night, I would not allow shift lines in randomizer runs now. I've gotten it like twice. There was a quote-unquote setup that was okay at figuring out. The problem is that the wolves... the reason it would never be 100% consistent is because the wolf... the warg's animations are based off of RNG. So when it decides to bark at you is slightly random. So you couldn't use the wolf bark timing as like a setup, sadly. You kind of just had to react to the wolf bark and then just wing it, which sucked. So, and then map buffering the trick also just sucked. So, it wants me to go to the caverns, I guess. There's not much else to do here. Well, goddamn. Wonder if glitches would make it better. For bingo, my solution to the traversal problem in bingo is I would change the library card item to be a item that you get at like the start of the game or something. And instead of warping you to the library, it warps you to the castle entrance warp. That way, the warps that you unlock throughout your bingo progress, you can always like pivot to another location that you have access to. Because the issue with Symphony of the Night bingo is that you can't react to your opponent claiming a square by like pivoting out and doing a new thing. Like you're stuck in the area that you're in 99% of the time. And that leads to just worse gameplay overall. No, I'm just drinking Kirkland brand sparkling water, not sponsored. While not performant, do I think vertical wing smash is a glitch? I think the answer to that is probably yeah. Without thinking on it too deeply, I think the answer is yes. That's like my gut answer. And I think if I thought about it more, I would probably still agree that the answer is yeah. This is just allowing glitches in a regular rando seed. Glitches are not part of the logic at all. Would making teleporters constantly accessible make bingo more fun and complex? I think so, because it means that the progress that you make to get a new teleporter is in and of itself like a important aspect of bingo. So you can like go to a location just to grab a teleporter and like route that in, but then pivot out to do something else and then come back later more efficiently. And it allows you to be more reactive to what your opponent's doing. Because the biggest issue with the bingo tournament that I threw was the strategy of going to second, like counting the number of squares on the board that required second castle progress, beelining it for second castle, and claiming all the second castle squares uncontended was just too powerful. Because by the time your opponent reacted to you claiming a second castle square, they could not drop what they were doing and quickly pivot out to go to the second castle to chase you on stuff or try and block you on stuff. So it just turned into like half of the game being inaccessible to the other player, meaning that they were just kind of locked out of progress a lot of the time. Granted, I'm not doing anything with bingo at the current moment, but it was just an idea that I had that if I were to go back to working on like balancing a randomizer bingo or something like that for SotN, or just a bingo format in general for SotN, I think the ability to what's it called? The ability to pivot is important. Also, I'm skipping whatever's at Merman statue. For now, at least. Are quick grabs considered a glitch in rando? If they are allowed because the randomizer rule set is already pretty arbitrary, and what is or is not allowed is based solely off of vibes. We currently designate it as like no major glitches, as if that particularly saves it, but it's mostly just vibes, to be honest with you. I would say a quick grab is should be considered a glitch. Probably a minor glitch, but still a glitch. Same with like damage stacks and vial stacking. Like those are clearly glitches, but we allow them in randomizer because it's mostly, you know, who cares? I don't think forcing glitches or skips as squares is a good design of a bingo situation, Sapo. You want the skips to lead you into squares, and those skips are options to allow you to do it faster. But being like, bingo square, perform library floor clip is kind of whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the biggest fan of that design idea, personally. But if there was something like, I don't know. I guess library floor clip's not a great example, but Just trying to throw ideas out there. I've thought a lot about Symphony of the Night Bingo. I just think Symphony of the Night as a video game is maybe not the best for lockout bingo. And it's unfortunate because lockout bingo is my favorite type of bingo. I think Symphony of the Night as a video game is probably better suited to just doing regular bingo, like either first to clear a line or first to get X number of lines, that sort of thing. Because the ability for you to block your opponent is pretty bad in SotN. And it could just snowball into an unsustainable situation. And that's generally like a feels bad moment where you lose to something that's completely out of your control. I have money, right? I have Garnet? Okay, I can buy library cards. Yeah, Lockout I think is just maybe not super compatible with SotN. Because Lockout as a format is already relatively snowbally, so you need comeback mechanics built into the game somehow. Or methods of allowing for blocks or synergistic plays to overwrite players who are just going for squares as fast as possible. But the problem with not having Lockout is that synergy is always guaranteed to be the best play because you can't get locked out. So out-synergizing your opponent, it's weird.
I'm interested.
Not every game gets to be Elden Ring that is like really well balanced for bingo specifically.
Thank you.
Sadly.
Well, for now.
Yeah, that's the other thing is that the squares for Lockout Bingo are either unbalanced or boring. It's very difficult to find a balance between both. I don't know. Every time I've taken a look at it, I'll get excited to think of some ideas and try and work on it, and then I get stuck where I practice a few boards, and I'm like, this doesn't feel that great. I don't know. I mean, yes, getting blocked is part of Lockout Bingo, and it's part of the competition of it. But you want it to be in a way where you can bounce back from it. If it's like, oh, I got blocked once and I now lose because there's nothing I can do, the opponent's just going to grab everything because they got to this one spot faster than me, that's a feels bad. So, are spoiler log races a thing? I mean, we could do them. People have done like set seed races before, but it's not like very common now. Mana Prism, just need that duplicator. I think you can manipulate boards that way, Jammer. Yeah, Bat for going fast is one of those things that's just kind of like, Bat is overpowered, so like, but to be fair, there is a similar parallel in Elden Ring Bingo, which is when do you set up a weapon? Because having a set up weapon, a high level weapon, is how you go fast in Elden Ring Bingo. But there are still plenty of runners who will divert their paths of when they choose to set up a weapon. So sometimes it might be more beneficial to like delay getting Soul of Bat to collect a few early squares. And then be like, okay, now I'm going to go grab Soul of Bat. Now that I've gotten a bit of an advantage, I'll have my opponent try and like block the threats that I've created, and I'll use the time of them blocking bullshit lines to set up my Soul of Bat if they haven't already done so already. So like, I don't think Soul of Bat is necessarily the worst design aspect of Symphony of the Night, because there is some risk reward. I think the worst part about my bingo tournament was that I had exclusive squares, things like do X before Y. I think in general that was kind of lazy design on my end, where I wanted to force unique routing decisions, but the way I did it was pretty clunky, to be honest. Where I would much rather the board design incentivize it naturally, as opposed to being like, you're forced to do this before this if you want to. Okay, nice dive kick, loser. I think my D-pad just wasn't pressing down. Oh, the level up actually saves me here. Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go! Nose demon card! We could do shop glitch! Not really. We've already talked to the shopkeeper. Oh, there's nothing here. But that was fun. Still no glitches! We've been playing the game for 25 minutes! I'm trying to do glitches and they don't exist! Joel check, where's the glitches? Joel check. I'm starting to think that adding glitches won't be a problem. It's not even that they're patched, it's just you don't get the option to do them. What glitches are people thinking of adding? Probably just floor clips, to be honest. Ooh, diamond. I'll take a specific situation for a glitch to be useful. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm jealous that Super Metroid is a video game with 10 million tricks and glitches. Because if you ever watch a Super Metroid rando, there's like so much stuff going on, specifically the map rando, but that's partially due to the fact the way that the map rando puts you in unique situations pretty constantly. But Symphony of the Night does not have nearly as much mechanical depth as Super Metroid. So for that reason, it's much harder to see those sorts of things play out. But I am jealous that they get to execute their skill all over the place. Doing more Super Metroid, may or know when. I need to get better at Super Metroid as a video game. My biggest issue right now is I can't consistently kill all the bosses with like minimal like health and ammo. And that's like a huge, huge problem. It's like a skill issue on my behalf 100%. But I need to sit down and actually practice. Okay, how do I beat Ridley? Oh, this is my flight? This is awful. How do I beat Ridley with like 2 E-Tanks and Varia? How do I beat Ridley with like I don't know, 6 E-Tanks in a reserve without Varia? You know? The game's hard. How do I beat Fantoon with only 5 missiles and no E-Tanks? Like, that is a situation that will come up. Do I have a heart refresh or a screen freeze of any kind? I have Malblung. Hold on. Glitches? This is huge? Come on. Easy mode. We get to do 1 glitch! And this glitch actually does save us quite a bit of time, I'm not gonna lie. It saved me having to go around for a teleporter. Yep. And we got Spirit Orb from it, guys. Spirit Orb. Hold on. Starting to think this cheating shit's overpowered. You telling me I can get Spirit Orb early? You know, I'm just jealous that there are cool and epic games that allow you to do fun tech all over the place. Symphony of the Night, there is tech. It's just we've just been doing the same tech for such a long time. Also, as soon as I find... Actually, am I in Go mode? I just realized I am in Go mode if I allow all glitches. I should have realized this as soon as I found Malblung and Power of Mist. I am now in Go mode. I can Richter skip with this setup, and I can Relic skip with this setup. You know what? I'm just gonna go do that. Fuck it. Just showcase why allowing all glitches is too powerful. It is crazy that we went from we can't do anything to GG's, it's over, we win. Getting Soul of Wolf is just for speed. I'm gonna go do that. Fuck it. Let's go beat the game. Wolf makes things slightly easier for Richter skip. The glitches people are talking about are Turbodog disagreeing with Out of Bounds being a major glitch. He says Out of Bounds shouldn't be a major glitch? Is that true? I think out of bounds is a major glitch, yeah. Did you still showcase Richter skip with Maulblung anyways? Yeah, sure. Fuck it, why not? He's saying out of bounds shouldn't be a major glitch. Interesting. That's definitely a perspective. He's saying it should be including the elevator clip. People are disagreeing with him. I'm in the wrong spot.
Eating my balls? No! Leave me alone! I'm already suffering enough!
I think out of bounds should be considered a major glitch, yeah. And if that means that the elevator clip is also a major glitch, then I would be fine with that. Like, if we're talking about the definition of what we consider a major glitch in the community, I think that's fine. Thank you, Zero. Because you are technically going out of bounds and zipping through the floor. Which is like, you know, super keystone major glitch territory. It's just it happens in such a minor looking way. Although I probably shouldn't say minor looking on the internet. There might be some AIs that scrape your conversation or something that might get the wrong idea. So the way that this version of Richter skip works is that you set up in the bat Richter skip position. You do the jump. You get to the last frame before the screen transitions right here. And then you buffer the shield rod spell. And then during this transition, you're buffering mist. There you go. And Richter is now skipped. You can do the same thing with a heart refresh as well. Yeah, you can use mist, or you can also technically use bat as well. But bat, you don't need the heart refresh. You can do it without it. It's just more precise. The heart refresh / screen freeze just makes that trick easier and makes it possible with mist. You don't need power of mist either. Just regular mist works just fine. One sub if you find and use the booty shield. Wait, hold on. Do I already have it? Fuck, I need this money, guys. You don't understand. Fuck, I don't have it. This video is going to be kind of short. The AdSense on this one's not going to be too great, guys, because I'm too busy breaking the game. So this is actually a great example of like one of the most restrictive randomizers being completely busted as soon as you find one item. So whoever doesn't find the Maulblung in this scenario, if they were racing against me, just loses because they just have to keep playing the game. You can just double heart refresh there. You can double heart refresh without a transformation, and that works too. I guess that would make sense. Because the whole point is you're just trying to enter the room without a hitbox, detecting that you entered the room. So if you delay the transition, that would make sense. I didn't know that it only took 2 without a transformation, though. I would have assumed you needed more. But I guess at max fall speed, you can get there. Oh, I can't remember how many. Okay, I thought it was literally 2. Yeah, if you have double heart refresh plus duplicator, then like, yeah. You could just like spam it until you fall all the way through. But double heart refresh lets you break all sorts of screen transition stuff. Those glitches are called door breaks in Super Metroid, and those are just flat banned for like everything except for any percent glitched. Those are the type of major glitches they don't allow over there. Which makes sense. Because the way that it's handled in Super Metroid is more broken for sure. Because it lets you access like garbage data and like stuff like that. Super Metroid has some glitches considered in logic. Depending on the preset you were playing and the like difficulty level, yes. And it also depends on what you consider a glitch. In general, the glitches in logic are reserved for like the expert level seeds and stuff like that. Like X-ray climbing is one of those things that's like a major glitch for sure. It's banned in like the any % category, but some randomizer skill assumptions will have it in logic. Some clips are in logic, depending on the skill assumption. The way that Super Metroid handles their randomizer is that they handle the logic all based off of skill assumption, as opposed to like glitch level or something like that. So like some tricks and glitches that are not, so both like glitches and tricks that are not glitches are categorized based off of how difficult they are to perform, and then depending on which bucket of difficulty it is determines which shows up in logic. It's honestly an insane undertaking that they have going on over there. And again, as always, very jealous. All right, time to do Relic skip in the dumbest way possible. So this is why you don't allow literally every glitch in the game, because we are just skipping everything at this point. Yeah, thank you, Loch Ness. So, what's like the not stupidest way to do this? I need to double jump, move forward for 1 frame midair, shield rod, buffer a dive kick to the left, and I think this gets us the reverse shift line that we need. Okay.
Serviceable in the same way that, like,
wrong spot.
Jerking off is serviceable, but is it really the best way to bust a nut? Probably not.
God damn it. I guess I don't need to buffer this part. I just need to buffer this. Should work. Unless I need to be in a slightly farther position. Nope, that's it. And now I need to untransform at the right time. Right here, I think? No, that was too early. So the hardest part about this version of the glitch is I just need to know when to untransform, and I forget the exact visual cue for it. Why does Miss move so fast? Because it's not being like, I don't know, it's like the weird out of bounds stuff that goes on in this game. So we have this pillar right. Okay, it's before the pillar. So it's the green clock in between the statue and the pillar. There we go. Yo, what up, Gosroth? Thank you for the good luck. Right now we're just showcasing why glitches are banned. Like every glitch. Like, allowing all glitches is banned in Symphony of the Night. Randomizer. Because if you allowed glitches, you'd allow dumb shit like this. And honestly, people just, don't want to deal with it. What is going on with my subpixel here? It's very strange. Get Heart Refresh and win. It doesn't have to be Heart Refresh. I just found Maulblung or Shield Rod. Those also work. So it is right here. Yep. And then the screen's going to flash a million times. Sorry for those with sensitive eyes. I'm going to spam the jump button as much as I can. Try and get out of this faster. There we go. And now I can beat the game! Hooray! Isn't this fun? All right, then. So pretty easy to skip stuff. Yes. It's fun to watch. I think in a race scenario, it would be pretty miserable. For sure. Especially because this is a preset that's meant to take a lot longer. You know what? I'm going to go max attack power here just for funsies. There we go. So, I think it's fair to say that some glitches probably need to be banned. I think Relic skip being banned is fine. I think in the same vein as Relic skip, I think reverse shift lines across the board should just be banned. If you want to make a case for reverse shift lines being allowed, make it so it's only the ones in the clock tower that happen without a screen freeze. Just because those are pretty minor and don't really do much, but...
Go back whence you came.
Yeah, this seed, if I had to guess, probably would have taken like over an hour to complete because it was a very... Like, it was missed and power of missed logical flight. So...
That I've been so defeated.
We probably cut like 25 minutes off the seed minimum, maybe more. Just because we found the one thing we needed.
Sarcasm. For what
So...
profit is it to a man?
Let that be a lesson to you, that even a dirty cheater like myself has his limits. Maybe some cheats do go too far. Was this glitched randomizer lame or epic PogChamp? I would say it's a little lame. And ultimately, I'm trying to create stuff that doesn't involve things being too lame, so... Yeah, I don't know. I think it was worth the experimentation. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know, are glitches lame or are they epic?
She also said to tell you.
Join the live stream, twitch.tv/DragonButts, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!